Today you'll see two pull-up knit shorts. Super easy to sew, only 2 pattern pieces, no side seams. They look like a skirt if you want them to be. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today I have the easiest make ever. They took no time at all to sew. I sewed both of my garments in a couple of hours, including cutting and filming. So that tells you a lot. I usually don't get 2 garments done in one day. And what I'm talking about is the Sashay shorts from pattern Emporium. These are a pattern that was released back in 2019, I believe. It's already gone through a sizing update. It's got a really nice size range. And they're just so cute. I'll put up the line out here so you can see it. This is the pattern that is 50% off for today. This is a pattern company from Australia, so the sale ends Saturday noon in Australia, but over here it'll be Friday night. So you have quite a few hours to go and check these out. I'll leave you my affiliate link to the pattern at the top of the comment section, pinned. Really easy for you to find it there. Also in the description box. If you like my work and you like to support me without it costing you anything, using my affiliate link is one way to do that, because when you click and you purchase, I receive a small commission back from the designer, and it's one of the ways I make an income here on YouTube. So if you use my link, I'm super grateful. Now, these are super fun and super easy to sew. They have a flared silhouette, and you find 3 types of shorts within one pattern. So it's like a 3-for-1. You have a subtle flare, a medium flare, and the full flare. The full flare would be almost like a circle skirt, but it's shorts. You have a crotch and an inseam and all of that, so I think it's amazing. And you have 3 lengths. Swim length is the shortest, and that is if you're using swim fabric which doesn't curl up. You could just cut it really neatly with your blade and leave it not hemmed. And then you have another cut line underneath that will have seam allowance, so it can be the short version. So that one is for regular knit fabrics that you need to hem. And then there's a longer length. These are pull up. You have different types of waistbands you can put in here. You have a yoga waistband, which is the wider one. It's almost 3 inches wide. Then you have a narrower one. These yoga waistbands are smaller than the waist area of the shorts. That means you need to stretch to fit, and you don't need to put an elastic inside. But depending on your fabric choice, you might want to choose the waistbands that do have an elastic inside. In that case, you have a separate waistband that sort of matches the width of the shorts on the top, and then you put your elastic in there. You can also add a decorative elastic if you have those, and skip the waistband, just sew the elastic right on. And there's a maternity option as well. It's a different type of curved waistband that will match if you want to wear this above the tummy or underneath the pregnant belly. So there's lots of options there. This is one pattern piece for the front and the back, so it's a really wide piece. If your knit fabric isn't wide enough, or you're sewing larger sizes, you have larger pattern pieces, you might not be able to fit the whole shorts onto this knit fabric. In that case, you can split your pattern on the side seam where there would be a side seam. There's a dashed line there. You can separate your pattern piece and then have seam allowance. And then you would sew them up like regular shorts. They're going to fit the same as the intended shorts. It's just that you can have an extra side seam. The other reason you might want to separate your pattern pieces and have the side seam is if you want to add pockets. Now, the pockets are not an official part of the pattern, but they are included as a hack at the end of the tutorial, and you do have to modify the pattern pieces to make this work. You do have the pattern pieces for the pockets. One is a curved pocket entrance with a pocket bag inside. The other one's easier, where you just finish the pocket entrance and you sew one pocket bag on the back. So I did not go there, but if you did really want to have the pockets there, you could as an option. It would just mean splitting up the pattern and having a side seam. In my case, because I'm sewing them as is, it's just one whole piece that you cut twice. That's it. The second pattern piece you have here is the waistband. So there's actually just 2 pattern pieces. I think that is amazing. Now for fabric, knit fabric, you do need knit fabric for this. It's not going to fit if you try this with a woven fabric because it's fitted at the waist. It's going to be nice and tight here. So don't try to make this with a flowy rayon or linen. It's just not going to work. You need at least 25% stretch horizontally and at least 10% stretch vertically, so that you can have a comfortable crotch and everything fits properly. And you can use from lightweight to medium to heavyweight. They're all going to look a little bit different. What I'm going to say about the lightweight fabrics like rayon, spandex, modal spandex, bamboo spandex, those are going to look a little longer and feel a little looser. The other thing, with those types of fabrics, you can't really do the yoga waistband. It's just not going to hold up. So for those types of fabrics, I would do the covered waistband, which is the waistband that you saw on the top and then you put an elastic. That is going to guarantee that your garment is going to stay on your waist. The same with double brush poly and ITY. I wouldn't be making yoga waistbands with those. But if you choose something with a little bit more spandex, like Ponte Roma, like an athletic knit, maybe even a stretch velvet, if you want to try that, then I would go ahead and use the yoga waistband. So think about what fabric you need for that yoga waistband. You need a fair bit of spandex to have that stretch and recovery, and for your garment to stay on your waist without needing an actual elastic on the inside. Other fabrics you could use, and then the effect would be more dramatic. The flare would be more voluminous. Ponte Roma, Scuba, that sort of thing, Liverpool, heavier knits. It wouldn't be my choice. And then of course you can use swim fabric. There's a whole cut line there for swim fabric where you don't need to hem if you don't want to. So I'm making two versions here. For one, I'm using swim fabric. I'm doing the shorter version and the subtle flare. It's still nice and flared, but less than the other two. The other one, I'm using an athletic knit. I'm making the longer version and I'm doing the medium flare. I haven't used the full flare here. I just prefer less fabric around me. That's a personal preference. That's what's great about the pattern. You can choose however much volume that you want and it's going to be cute regardless. Sizing, it's from 4 to 30 Australian, goes up to a 58 3/4 inch hip. You need to choose your size based on your full hip. Now the fit is going to be fitted because you're going to regulate that with the type of waistband that you have around your waist. Obviously that needs to be fitted so it stays up. The hips, it's nice and roomy. You know, you're going to see the fit when I show you my shorts on. It's really nice and roomy. I wouldn't try going down a size or going up a size. Just choose your size, find your full hip there and you will be okay. The crotch is a little bit lower than usual because of the style of the shorts. You're not going to have many fitting adjustments to do. But if you needed to make the rise a little longer, a little shorter, it's a little bit different with this one. And it's really well explained in the pattern instructions how you can make these small adjustments. Same as if you're doing the maternity version, there will be a dashed line there on the front area of the shorts for you to lower that waistline so you can attach that different type of waistband for the maternity hack. So there's different little things that you can do. My personal fitting, easy peasy, just choose my size, which is a size 16 Australian at the moment. And the only things I did was add length. For my long version, I added an extra inch. In hindsight, I should have added 2 inches. It's okay. It's a little bit short, but it's okay. I'll be happy. And for the short version, because I'm doing the swim, I was very happy to do the short version, but I still made it 2 inches longer. And you're going to see it's quite short on me, but you know, I'm a little bit taller. I just added these extra inches from the hem all around the pattern piece. So I didn't split my pattern and do that sort of thing. You can't really do that type of adjustment with this one. So if you want to make it shorter or longer than what you have there, just do it from the hem and you'll be okay. Now for sewing, it's extremely easy to sew. I did film it for you so you can see how easy it is. It's all done on the serger, which is a rare occurrence in my house. Well, I did use the sewing machine to sew the hem. That's the only thing. And the waistband. But it's mainly done on the serger and it's so easy. Use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let's see. You'll see in a second that the pattern piece is a little bit wide. It's very wide. So I've got my fabric extended on my table from selvage to selvage. That is the way I'm going to be able to cut this. So taking the fabric fully extended, I'm going to fold it up once so I can have 2 layers and I can cut my piece in one go. And then I'm going to fold it up. Here you can see my fabric extended on the table from selvage to selvage. I'm so happy my fabric is super wide so that I can fit my pattern piece. You can see it's one, it's got the crotch there, and in the middle there's no side seam. Now if your fabric is not wide enough or you're sewing the larger sizes, you'll find a dashed line there in the middle. That's where you would cut away right there, separate these and add seam allowance, and then you would be able to sew your shorts as per usual. I'm going to cut them both at the same time. I'm doing the wider yoga waistband. It's one piece cut on the fold, but I needed to add a seam allowance on the sides for mine just so I could get it out of my fabric. So instead of having one seam, I'm going to have 2 seams. I decided to add an inch of length to my shorts. This is the longest version, but I still want a tad longer just because I'm a bit taller. So I've drawn from the hem down 1 inch all the way along the bottom, and that's how I'm going to cut it. Here we have both the pieces on the table. I've got both crotches pinned. That is the next step, seams on the serger. The seam allowance here is 1/4 inch, so I'm making sure that I don't trim much away. If I do, it's going to be minimal because I want to respect the 1/4 inch seam allowance here. And we're just going to get these 2 crotch seams sewn, the front and the back. Okay, here are my crotch seams sewn, easy peasy. Now all I have to do is lift this and then now align the inseams. Super easy, that is the next step. Pretty much a straight seam on the serger. At this point, the shorts will look like shorts. It's so easy because there's no side seam again. So much fun. Now here I'm sewing my 2 little seams for my yoga waistband. I'm using 1/4 inch seam allowance with a narrow zigzag. I can press the seam open like that. Here are the shorts on the table, and here is my yoga waistband. Now all I have to do is attach that waistband and then do the hem. Here are my shorts right sides out. I have my crotch seams, and then on the sides you have a little mark, and those will be the other 1/4 points to match up with the waistband. So then I have my waistband. I'm going to match those up with the 1/4 points there, the centers, and on the side seams that I have on my waistband, those are the ones that are going to match the little mark there that we have on the waistline of the shorts. So I'm just going to pin all my reference points, and you can see that my waistband is smaller than my waist, which means I'm going to have to stretch this as I serge each 1/4 as I go. Super easy. I'm going to do this on the serger, always making sure the raw edges are together. I'm doing this slowly, going 1/4 then the other 1/4, stretching as I serge. And this is so easy. The yoga waistband is always sewn in the same way. You divide the waist in 1/4s, you divide the waistband into 1/4s and just match them up. It's so easy. You can get it done in a couple of minutes. This is quite a nice curved hem, so I did hand baste this before sewing it. I'm using a narrow zigzag to quickly top stitch this hem down, and the shorts are done. Now, if you've been following my channel, you might have seen that at the beginning of the month, I used this fabric already. I still have so much left. I know I'm going to make a lot of things because it's so pretty, it's drapey, it's an athletic knit, super easy to work with, and I thought the medium flare was going to be perfect for it. So you can see the volume of one leg. There is the crotch and everything. When I wear it, it looks like a skirt, but it's not a skirt, it's a pair of shorts. Pull up. I did do a hack of having the side seams on both sides just because it was easy for me to get my waistband piece from the bits of fabric I have left. Otherwise, you would just have one piece that you cut on the fold and then you would have a center back seam. I didn't do that for both of my versions. So on both of my versions, I have seams on the sides, super discreet. No one's ever gonna know. And so it's easy for me to know which is the front and the back. If you can see there, I did a little bit of stitching with pink thread. So when I go and grab these and I want to put them on quickly, I can just see where's the pink and put that towards the back. Super easy, the hem, everything is so perfect. And I'm going to show you this one styled a few ways. Super fun styling. I can't wait to wear this. I know I'm going to be reaching for this one a lot. This is my second pair of Sashay shorts. This is the longer version. Mine is 1 inch longer than the longest version. It's an athletic knit. It's a size 16. I've got it paired with my one shoulder tank, also from Emporium, which is a swing style in this version. But if I tuck it in at the front, I think it suits the style of the skirt better because it's a little more full. It's not a skirt, it's a pair of shorts. This is a medium flare and I think it looks super adorable. No one would know it's actually shorts. It looks just like a skirt, so it's the best of both worlds. And I love this little look here, a little bit dressed up. I think this pair of Sashay shorts is gonna go a long way in my wardrobe. And I really love this animal print. There's quite a bit of black in there, so I think the black top goes perfect. Here is another fun look with a little linen jacket ready to wear. It's got those tan caramel tones, same as the shoes. It really matches the style of the animal print. I have a white top underneath, and this is a great casual way to wear this one when I need a light layer. It's linen, you know, great for spring or autumn. Now this might seem a little matchy-matchy, but I'd made this t-shirt a couple of weeks ago in the exact same fabric. If I feel a certain type of way, I'm gonna go out the door in a full-on leopard outfit. This does not look like a jumpsuit. You can clearly see I've got a half tuck there. It's very noticeable that it's a t-shirt tucked into the shorts. And I think it looks really cute. The comfort level here is through the roof. Let me tell you, it's so comfortable, so floaty, so stretchy, just the best. Such a nice outfit, full on leopard. Why not? I'm sure there's a day I'm gonna feel like wearing this out. And you'd seen me pair this white top before with the other pair. I think it goes perfectly because it's a shorter top that has a little bit of waist definition with a hemband. It sort of matches the waistband of the Sashay shorts. So I think the silhouette goes really well. Something a little shorter, a little bit more fitted on the top. Although it's not a fitted top, the hemband makes it have that balance there with the fuller volume of the shorts. Really love the color combinations here, all neutrals. Trying to do a little bit more of that in this point, and I'm really happy with how this looks. Super fresh, nice comfy sandals. I'm gonna love this when I wear it out. Here is my second one. This is the saddle flare. It's still got a nice amount of flare. This one uses the least amount of fabric. This pattern piece is not as wide as the other ones, so you might be able to fit this one in less fabric if you're concerned about that. I did the same thing, which is have the seams on both of the sides here of the yoga waistband. I use a yoga waistband all the time. It is my preference. I would rather sew in a yoga waistband than have a waistband with an elastic if the fabric allows it. And because these two fabrics are really conducive to having a nice functioning yoga waistband, I did that. But as I said before, if you're using lighter fabrics that don't have that much recovery, then go ahead and use the waistbands with the elastic. It's still going to be comfortable. I just prefer the yoga waistband all the time. Also sewn on the serger. Now, I know I made this as a swim short and I could have left it unhemmed, but I find that the wrong side is too contrasting, it's too light, and I didn't really want that to be seen when I move around. Let's be honest, it's really hard for me to leave something raw. Even if it's meant to be. And the only times I've left something raw is when the right and the wrong side are exactly the same, like a scuba suede. Whenever I wear these to go to a beach or anything water-like, I'm always gonna have a pair of swimming like bikini bottoms or something underneath. And I've only styled it two ways because, you know, this is a swim thing. It's a little shorter. It was a little bit harder to style for everyday wear because it's not gonna be an everyday wear thing. I could use this around the house for lounging and also to get wet at a pool or a beach or something like that. So let's see. Here's my first pair of Sashay shorts from pattern Emporium. This is a size 16. This is a short version with the saddle flare. You can see it's still nice and flared, but the other option I'm going to show you is way more flared, and then there's an even fuller flare version. This is a swim fabric. This is meant for activewear or getting wet. I have a cami tucked in so you can see the yoga waistband detail. There's no side seam, so it's only the crotch and the inseam. I think it's super adorable, super cute. When I wear this to go to the beach or the pool, I'll have swimming briefs underneath. And I just have a cami here that could get wet as well. It's got a shelf bra and all those things. So it's just about taking off the sneakers and getting into the water or getting wet here. I love the colors of this swim fabric. I think it's really cool. Here is another sporty look, this time with white sneakers and a cute white top, also in an athletic knit. I could get wet in this as well. I think this is adorable. It is quite short, so it's very focused on certain activities. Such an easy make. The next version you'll see is longer. These turned out so cute. I really love them. You know, this longer version is so amazing because it looks like a skirt, but it's not a skirt, it's pants. So if you don't like wearing skirts and you prefer wearing pants, maybe this is a great mix because you can have both in the same garment. They pretty much looks like a skirt, but it's pants, and it's so easy to sew. If you get nice wide fabric, you might be able to just cut it like I did. Otherwise, you can split the pattern and add side seams. It would still be super easy. So yeah, highly recommend. I think there's great value, lots of options, and an amazing price. So go ahead and check it out over at Pattern Emporium. If you want to, you can use my affiliate link to purchase. I'm always grateful if you do. You don't have to though. That's all from me. I'll see you back next week here with more sewing at Lifting Pins and Needles. Bye.